Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're watching more Legends of Galactic Heroes, the new thesis. And we have just watched episode 1, and we're going to episode 2 here. We have been introduced to Reinhard, the Empire, and basically what space battles are like in here, and I think we're coming hot off that, and we're really happy to see more. Theta, what you
I'm
got?
already entertained by the fact that you're already unwilling to say "I knew these."
I did it once. I'll do it again. Just not this time, apparently.
Just boiling down a show to its last words, and this time translating it for some reason.
I got a vague idea of like how to pronounce like certain languages. Like I have a vague idea of like what tone I need for like French, what tone I need for like Spanish, what I would need for like Japanese. And I know if you're speaking in Cantonese, you just yell all the time. So like I understand those. German? What do you do with that? I guess you also do the yelling all the time, but
Well,
uh
no, I mean, the more German words you have in a sentence, the harsher it sounds by default. So that's just the way to say it.
right, you gotta like end everything like in a very consonant manner. Everything has to like be abrupt and sharp.
I should also say, I guess, that it's called the new thesis because this is like not a reboot, uh, a new
Remake.
version. Yeah, a remake of an original anime
Mhm.
that had its full run. So
Yeah. At least with like the remake visuals that we're getting here, I'm loving every bit of it. It definitely looks beautiful. I want to see more like action, but we're dealing with like battleship combat here. Like
what
I'm
action are
not
you looking
demanding.
for? Are you looking for like a boarding party so people will just punch faces? Because I assure you, and what it feels like to me is that there was a boarding party. We'd see the same thing that the ships are doing, just with
Mhm.
people holding guns. That they'd be standing at a distance, shooting
What
at one another. It'd be the
what I
same
mean
thing.
right now, what I mean right now is that we're in like the millionth statistic level of combat, where I see a bunch of lasers and I see a bunch of ships exploding, and I'm just like, oh, okay, that's nice.
Well,
Because I don't like have a sense of grasp of like again the scale of it, what's happening, or like how close these people are, how close the shots were, or things like that.
actually, you do.
This is battleship
You
combat.
do have an idea of the scope. Remember, they're so far apart that even though they're firing at one another, they're 4 to 5 hours away from being close enough to. You
They're
have you have
2200 light seconds, and I want to put that to miles real quick.
as I'm saying, you've got the scale. It's massive. And I think the idea is that you're saying you're seeing the shots being fired and not having any idea. I think that's the point. It's like a giant broadside of not a broadside. It's a giant volley of shots that they're basically just anticipating will hit something. It's so that's why they put the you heard the main commander in the middle fleet saying, "All right, move the ships up ahead as a shield." They're just using other ships to shield other ships. You stand in
Yeah,
front
which
of
gets
me.
into some like very crazy calculations for like doing battle in this distant future here.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
it doesn't seem. Oh, go ahead.
and point of reference, 22,000 light seconds is 4 billion miles.
Yeah, it is. How many AUs is that?
Let's find out. If I were to look up AU in
Because at
miles.
that distance, I don't know how wide the solar system is in miles, so I wouldn't even be able to guess.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 AU is 92 million miles.
Oh, you didn't do
So
just
we
like a
are,
direct conversion?
yeah, we are 2 degrees of magnitude away, is what we are.
How many miles did you say?
92 million for an
No.
astronaut.
I mean, the fight.
4 billion. Yeah, 100 times.
43
So,
AU.
yep.
43 solar systems across is how far this fight is. Like, wait, when did they say that number?
Astronomical unit is the distance from Earth to the sun.
Oh, sorry. So
Is what we
40.
have.
Well, are you sure? I thought an AU was the size of the the radius of the solar system.
No, just the distance from Earth to the sun. I've known this one for a long time. I was a space nerd at
I
some
was a
point.
space nerd too, which is why I'm confused.
But yeah, no, they are going on
Oh,
like
you're right.
very
Okay.
wide sweeping arcs around like completely empty space between orbits here.
Well, that's what I was talking about when I said that you could see how much time they had on their hands between the fights engaging one another, which is why I guess it's poignant to see all the maps moving around and their planning of things.
Yeah, additionally pointed, of course, to see that they can go 1 billion miles an hour.
Well, we don't no idea what their propulsion is. We only seen the backs of the ships, and they're
Mhm.
glowing blue and red sometimes. So
Again, this is like a fight across a galaxy. I'm okay with them having absurd levels of tech. That is perfectly fine with me.
well,
It's
we've
fantasy.
also seen
You
that their
need it.
ships are big enough that you need a train on the inside.
Oh
So
gosh, yeah.
who knows what kind of generator systems? Like even Star Trek ships are pretty big, but
Mhm.
I mean you don't need a train to get from one side of the Enterprise to the other.
There was one scene of like Star Wars, the Clone Wars animated cartoon where they had a train on a ship. And it was like one of those really long like CIS ones or something. But I think like
Well,
the
you've
Star
seen
Destroyers and like the Super Star Destroyer that they show later, those are supposed to be city size. They're like kilometers long, but these things are even bigger.
yeah, but giant masses inside of a Star Destroyer is just the engine.
Yeah.
Like even like the not the Imperator, that's the name of a ship. What's the Interdictor class? That
Yeah.
giant gravity dome thing you see in the middle of the ship is also
Yo.
its engine.
Yeah.
Or
So there's like
not
a
its
lot
engine,
of
sorry,
space to be
it's
filled in
generator.
there.
It's generator, not its engine. Obviously the things on the back are its engines. But
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, any ships that big can have who knows what power source in the center of them.
Yeah, so there's a sense of scale with Star Wars, but they also like compress it because you need to have one dude running across the ship in one scene at some point. So, but we're never gonna get that here. There's no one gonna be doing like a No, maybe we could. We could get one person doing like a desperate climb up a ship or something
I mean, we
for
could get a sense
days.
of scale in a kind of separated manner, unless we see like bodies flying out of a ship, right? That
Oh
gets blown up.
gosh.
But like, if we see somebody getting into a fighter craft, we'll know what the sense of scale is person to fighter craft, and then we've already seen the size of a fighter craft next to the ships.
I think you said this like earlier or maybe last time. There's like 60,000 ships on what was the losing side. They've lost like 40,000 or whatever. What's the death toll of that if these ships are that massive? Like, how many people do you think are on a ship?
Well, I think there was only 40,000 on one side altogether, and there's like you said 12,000 on the
Yeah.
Empire side. So that's only like 52,000 ships
Okay.
total.
Well,
But we don't.
like how many people per ship?
Well, we don't know how much automation is in play here, right? We don't know how many people it takes to run a section. Like all we've seen are bridge crews. So
Like, obviously, if we were to just like conservatively say like 1,000, maybe, right? That would still be 52 million people. But on a galactic scale, like, is that significant
we
here?
don't know how many habitable planets there are, or how they terraform planets to make habitable planets. So
Mm-hmm.
we also don't know the population spread per planet. The galaxy could be overpopulated. So
Yeah. If they're having battles like this, they gotta have a lot of resources.
it could
So
be resource rich and overpopulated, which would lead to shit like this happening.
but Theta, you know what's about to happen? My guy Yang is about to pop in, and we're gonna see what he's got up his sleeve. You got introduced last time. I'm getting introduced this time, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
I mean, we're already winning, so what could
But
you
maybe
possibly
I'll
do?
win.
I don't know how you're gonna win. You're already split in half.
Well, only one way to find out, and that's to watch. But before we do, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over in the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all sports challenges, a little bit extra.
Click the link down below. Join the Discord. Join us for our next upcoming show, Gundam Seed.
宇宙歴700
Two different time periods. That's not really confusing. It was 20,000. I was right.
数に勝る同盟軍は3方向からの包囲殲滅戦を仕掛けたが、帝国軍の括弧撃破戦法により第4、第6艦隊を失い、惨敗を喫していた。だが、
Maybe they're ion drives.
通信から流れた声の主は言った。
Yeah, they got like a nice color to them. I feel like this is going to be the show where we're going to be talking about the technology a whole lot, right?
I mean, X hours earlier.
Ah. That's cop-out. That's a cop-out.
I mean, that could be anything between 0 and 9. You do drink fucking tea, don't you?
Hell yeah.
You do read books with squares, don't you?
I got my jasmine tea right here. I forgot to make some this morning. Oh, and he sleeps in late and he's a slob too, like me.
Ah, this opening again.
Yeah, there you go. Just take in the vibes.
Well, now you recognize that's an Imperial ship right there.
Mm-hmm.
That one also has to be, by definition.
Right, that's our Reinhardt and their number 1. Because, of course, we get them here.
Also, because one is red hair and the other one doesn't.
That's why his ship is red.
It's a visual metaphor, do you get
That
it?
is too on the nose, unfortunately. This is just going over their past, I guess.
I guess it's also poignant to say that you see the castle here in the opening, and, like, the peasants on the planet in the very first minute of the other episode's opening.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how people live on these planets, with these technological giants in space fighting wars.
Yup. Hey, look. If I'm going to another planet, I don't expect there to be a gas station. I'm not bringing a car. I'll bring the horse, though. The horse can eat whatever we find there.
Sure, you're some sort of, what was it? The Western, sci-fi Western.
Trigun?
No, not an anime.
Up?
Not an anime. Malcolm Reynolds was the captain. Too late, we're on the show. Forget about it.
Firefly.
Not a conversation we're having anymore. Opening scene credits are conversations built into themselves. There you are.
君の提出した作戦案を見た。なかなか興味深い案だった。しかし慎重に過ぎていささか消極的ではないかな。
The only thing I hate about them introducing all these characters, the text keeps going to the top of the screen and then the bottom.
勝たなくてはな。我が軍は敵を三方から包囲している。しかも敵の2倍の兵力でだ。これだけの要件を備えて、なぜ今さら負けない算段をせねばならんのだ。
ですが、まだ包囲網が完成したわけではありません。
Little too early to be celebrating, right?
I mean, this is the same method that Data beat that one guy in Star Trek. The guy who actually beat Data. Data changed his method to just not lose.
Wow, our new best friend.
やめてくれ、英雄なんて。ところで、私に何か？
そのお顔から推察するに、パエッタ中将はヤン中将の策を受け入れなかったようですが。
当たりだ。
It is a good method, though, introducing characters one episode at a time.
We got a lot of stuff to cover here. We even have a third faction we haven't seen yet.
And by introducing characters one at a time, I mean introducing 100 characters per episode.
It's pacing, you see.
Yeah, how else would you remember them otherwise?
私は悪運が強いんです。艦隊が全滅しながら生還した3人の1人だったこともあります。
And I'll survive this one.
Sure, like that Gundam 00 guy. Colasar, Patrick Colasar. eyes went all dumb all of a sudden.
哨戒艇371より機関パトルクロスへ帝国軍艦艇想定中域に発見できず繰り返す
Again, the size of the battlefield is so big you have to send out scout ships who can still miss the fleet.
Space is big. Finding stuff is hard. Especially small, fast-moving things.
嬉しくはないがね
Space is so big, you could be in the middle of a fight where you're hearing this shit and be unconcerned.
完成されていない以上
I like how they're like a step down on their presentation technology.
ダゴン殲滅戦の鉄は踏まないということか
Also, the fact that you gotta form your fleet.
はい機関はこの事態をどう
You have to form your fleet in such a place that all ships can't be in line with another. Because when you volley, you might
Oh,
shoot
yeah.
your other ships in the back, so your 20,000 ships all have to be staggered in three-dimensional space, but still in formation.
第4艦隊は持ちこたえることができるだろうか
数において相手を上回りしかも機戦を制した側が有利になります
とにかく
Ah, your strategy from episode 1, Griff.
うまくいけば帝国軍の即敗をつくことも可能だろうそうすれば一挙に戦局は有利になる
おそらく無理でしょ
どういう意味だ
う我々が到着した時戦闘はすでに終わっています敵は戦場を離脱し第2第6の両艦隊どちらかの即敗に回って攻撃をかけてくるでしょう我々は先手を取られ
That the fight could be over before you could even get in position.
敵の思惑に乗る必要はないと考えますが
ではどうしろというのだ
手順を変えるのです第4艦隊の救援に向かうのではなくまず一刻も早く第6艦隊と合流しその中域に新しい戦場を設定します両艦隊を合すれば2万8000隻になりそれ以後は5部以上の勝負を挑むことができる
There you go. He's already on the same page as Reinhard.
And that they would have already lost 12,000 ships.
どうせ間に合いません
そうとは限らん第4艦隊とてむざむざ破れはすまい彼らが持ちこたえていれば
無理だと宣告も申し上げましたが
やん准将現実は機関の言うような計算だけでは成立せんのだ今回の遠征軍を率いているのはローエングラム伯だ若く経験も少ない
I expect the names to get more complicated as we go.
とおっしゃいますが彼の戦略構想は
もういい准将
God, this show really does deserve a board, one of the boards. Just remember all the people's names.
Imagine how convoluted that's gonna get.
I've already set up the UC one for Gundam, so how much more, right? Boy, that guy ate his words, huh?
Well, we did get the bodies out in space like we were hoping.
想定中域に帝国軍はいない知ってる第4艦隊はダメかおそらく敵が次に狙うのは第6艦隊だろうそうなれば敵の電波妨害が強まる
It's just that these guys have no sense of real urgency. Clearly they have concern. Urgency is not on the table.
Yeah, if it's gonna take 4 hours. Oh, he's totally dead.
Dead flags all over the place, man.
We already know he's dead.
We don't know he's dead. We've never seen him before. God, it's like the fire comes down like rain, huh?
Completely unavoidable.
Well, because they're in the middle of their ill-fated turnaround maneuver that the coward, incompetent guy put up.
脱出の道なし降伏せよ寛大なる処遇を約束す
Was she the
He got
blonde
a
woman from the
Captain
opening?
Man.
カカ状況はお分かりのはずです 敵の次の目標は間違いなく我々第二艦隊です。
ヤンジュン将、消極的ではない提言はないのかね。
Yeah, you little bitch. Wait, what?
積極的なことしか言っていないつもりです。
電波妨害の模様、索敵システムに一部障害。
光学探知、接近する艦影あり。画像解析、敵艦の可能性大。
全艦に第一種戦闘配備命令。急げ。
Scout or fighter craft?
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess if you're fighting in space, you expect the hull to be breached eventually. Major damage, as the thing says.
カカ、パエッタ司令官が負傷された。至急医療室の準備を。誰か士官で無事な者は。
Roll call. Just one.
I guess it's the problem of your bridge walls being completely made of the visual readout on the outside.
I need Lao to live forever. I really do.
私がですか。
健在な士官の中でどうやら君が最高位だ。傭兵家としての君の手腕を。
内心高く評価してたんですね。
Even the part of the display that says major damage is damaged.
全艦隊に告げる。私はパエッタ総司令官の自責幕僚ヤン・ウェンリー准将だ。機関パトロクロスが被弾し、パエッタ総司令官は重傷を負われた。総司令官の命令により、私が艦隊の指揮を引き継ぐ。
3 more ships explode as he says that.
私の命令に従えば助かる。
To be fair, he hadn't reached the part about you'll be saved before they die.
指示に従ってほしい。
So that's on them.
我が部隊は現在のところ負けているが、要は最後の瞬間に勝っていればいいのだ。負けはしない。
We won't lose because my entire plan is just not losing. I promise nothing about victory.
新たな指示を伝
It
え
is
るまで
the enemy that gives you the chance of
艦砲
victory.
撃破に専念せよ。
Oh, there we go. We get a slightly less dramatic version of the fight.
Well, now you know what your character was up to the moment that that was said. And now we also repeat what I said immediately after. Oh, right, because I realized immediately, oh shit, I fucked up.
Try the holdo maneuver. That's a good trick.
Nah, because then we just jump to hyperspace right at your face.
Given the level of realism they're going with and the distances they deal with, hitting someone is probably the bigger issue.
That's what I said, they formed like a 3-dimensional wall in order to make every shot fill every gap of space. So long as you're pointed at something, you're probably going to hit something.
しかしどうやって命令を出すんです。敵電子攻撃でこちらの通信網は混乱。データリンクも未だ回復してません。一体どうやって？
心配ない。全周波体に圧縮データ通信。各艦の戦術情報システムコード C4 を開くよう伝えてくれ。それだけなら
Not the self-destruct code.
したところで敵には判断できないだろう。
He sent them the plan ahead of time.
無用になってくれればよかったのだ。
Thus explaining his previous scene, where it looked like he was taking over the ship, but wasn't.
機関長、生命維持を除く出力をすべてシールドに回せ。
機関パトロクロスより命令。戦術情報システムのコード C4 を開け。
直ちに実行せよ。これは中央突破に対する艦隊作戦計画だ。ヤン・ウェンリー准将、これを事前に。これよりコード C4 作戦計画に基づき艦隊行動を遂行する。
So the trick is not to be 3 different fleets, it's to be 1 fleet.
交代開始
Have bigger numbers and attack first. That's their first rule they've set down.
Well, they've already failed the second half of that.
まずうまくいきました。あとは味方が思うように動いてくれるかどうかですね。
ああ、一歩誤れば収拾がつかなくなる。
The ultimate problem with delegation, will they do it right?
頭をかいてごまかすさ。
いかがなさいました。
You don't look nonplussed.
ラインハルト様。
おかしい何かが変だ我々は勝利しつつあるそれは間違いないだが
I mean, you've taken out as many ships as you brought. So, yeah, you're winning.
しまった
Ah, the music.
Yeah, that engine thing. I don't know what that was.
That's them all maneuvering. They're using a 3-dimensional axis.
敵か左右に分かれ我が軍の
No, I meant the engine had something coming out of it when it fired up.
敵は左右に分断されたと見せて両手に分かれ我が軍の背後に回る気だ
You understand this is just going to lead to a whirlpool effect, right?
手に取られて
Where you're going to circle back around to attack their asshole too.
Yeah.
なんだと。
どうなさいます。反転迎撃なさいますか。
冗談ではない俺に低能になれというのか
Don't make jokes like that other incompetent asshole I heard on the radio.
前進するしかありませんね。
その通りだ全艦隊全速前進逆進する敵の背後に食いつけ
And weird gravity. That's another thing now.
Yeah, how did their gravity systems work is something that's gonna come up to mind here.
Well, I just mean that they turned. See, whirlpool. I just mean that he turned and everybody's like, oh, shifting with gravity.
Oh, the galaxy's greatest conga line.
こんな陣形初め
They're literally eating each other from the ass. They're eating each other's ass, Griff, as I said that out loud.
いやこれは初めてじゃない有史以来どこかの戦場で幾度となく繰り返されてきたことだ
なんたる無様な陣形だこれでは
Damn right.
戦ではないか
And now neither of them can turn off without losing. You're just stuck here.
Well, I guess it also indicates the turning radius. This is how fast they can turn to the right.
It appears they are evenly matched.
もうすぐ敵は引き始めるだろう
では追撃するのですか。
やめとこう敵の呼吸に合わせてこちらも引くんだここまでが精一杯だよ
キルヒアイスどう思う
そろそろ潮時ではないでしょうか。
Yeah, because at this point they should be like evenly matched.
双方損害が増すばかりです。
Well, like 20,000 to 20,000, right?
悔しいと。
Yeah, they've evened out now.
そんなこともないがもう少し勝ちたかっ
I
た
mean, I still think this is an Empire win.
転生を書いたのが残念
Technically, yeah, the Empire was on the defensive and they have stopped the attack. Congratulations. That's a win.
I don't know if they were on the defensive. I think the
最後の敵には
Kaiser ordered them to attack.
互角に戦った
They were being attacked by the 3 fleets.
これ以上
Right, but I mean, well, either way, Kaiser ordered them to fight here.
というものです。
分かっているよ
I do like that everyone so far, even the people who die so our main characters can take command, have all been perfectly sensible people, right? It feels almost refreshing.
Not the incompetent coward guy.
Except him, he's just
火を
wild.
ついた男だ何と言ったかな
ヤン・ウェンリー准将でした。
そうヤンだその男あるいはお前が言っていたような人物かもしれないな ヤン・ウェンリー准将に俺の名で伝聞を送ってくれ。
かしこまりました。
It's very much space battles, but in the genre of like,
増えたよ。
I don't know, 16th century naval battles.
Right, right.
Send a courier vessel to that ship.
ヤー司令官代理、帝国軍から入電です。
私に読んでみてくれ。
機関の優先に敬意を表す。再選の日まで創建なる。銀河帝国上級大将。
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like the shit you expect two generals in the 16th century to say to one another.
Right, right.
I don't expect to die in any of these fights. I wish you
Stay
good
healthy
health.
until I can kill you.
Yeah.
もそんなものは期待してないのじゃないかな。いいさ、放っておいて。それより残兵の収容を急いでくれ。助けられる限りは助けたい。
承知しました。あなたのおかげでまた命がつながりましたよ。
Yeah.
君の運がいいんだ。
The devil's luck, as he said. Now, I wonder if Jessica's a widow.
Oh no, we gotta go pan back and see who the survivors are. What's the damage of a battle like
こう
this?
して終結した。同盟軍の損失は帝国軍の10倍から11倍に達したが、アスターテ星系への帝国軍の侵入は
Yeah, see,
Oh, okay,
invasion.
you're right.
防がれた。
Reverse.
Well, because they said the Kaiser told them, it was like, that sounds like an attack move. That's why they were so weirded out. Not weirded out, they were acting so... They were just acting in a way that the Kaiser sent us to beat this large force with only a small amount of ships. Like, he expected them to lose. And they're like, well, we should just retreat. That's kind of what's expected of us. It's like, you wouldn't do that. The Kaiser gave the order.
You're not gonna disobey, are you?
I mean, I just counted it as a win from the standpoint of
Oh, yeah.
we came with 20,000 ships, and we killed 20,000 ships.
Mm-hmm. That's already good, even if they don't finish the assault. Then.
Also, by the
Uh,
way, you understand what's happening in the credits right now?
What's that?
Did you not pay attention to the last credits run?
No.
The credits last time started from the Imperial side and scrolled to the Free League, or the Free Planets. Now we're scrolling. We started from the Free Planets and we're scrolling towards the Imperials. You understand?
Ah.
Last episode started with the Imperials and ended with Yang's message. So it started Imperials, ended Free Planets.
So
Nah.
we'll be taking turns the whole time then.
So this time we started with the Free Planets, and now we're scrolling back to Reinhard, where we ended the episode with. I assume that's the Kaiser in the background. I have no idea.
We're
Behind the
definitely gonna
blonde
be
girl.
in it for some politics, though. After this, I think.
Well, I would imagine.
Oh, we're getting it now.
I don't know, you told me... Oh, it's new something, that's right. New sync something.
Just a lot of humility there.
Yeah, that's right. That's what a Galactic Empire's leader should be called. More titles, the better. Yeah, I think that's the guy from the background.
This man rules everything, they say.
36th Kaiser. I think he's the guy who's standing behind the blonde girl in the end credits.
Alright, you gotta now walk this entire hallway without losing your breath. This is like a mile long.
I think anybody can walk that long, Griff. You know, if you're losing your breath walking, you got problems.
It's so big. He wants the chair.
God, I wish I had that coat in my overlay. I thought it might have been too much, so I suggested against it.
次回銀河英雄伝説リ・ノイエテーゼ第3話上昇の天才
Does that refer to both of them or just one of them?
I think that's going to be another me one. I think we're doing a back and forth thing.
Mhm.
If I remember anything from the three, I can't remember what my guy is. It's either the Indomitable Prodigy, like it says there, or it's like some genius, I think is what he's called. And yours is like magician, something like magician, like you pull tricks out of your hat or something like that.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's the vibe I like to hear. Give me some chaos.
Yeah, so I think my guy is considered smart, and your guy is considered a trickster or something.
Mhm. I think this is good. We're starting a little bit of a dynamic between them. We've already seen that they are evenly matched, so we know the starting grounds, and we got to see where they go from here.
Pointedly, we've also been shown two sides, and neither side is particularly like, these are the bad guys, these are the good guys. We're just two sides.
Yeah, I guess that is a fun question to have here. After 2 episodes, what does the Empire believe in, aside from aristocracy? Why are the Free Rebels also still counts and such? Why do they have these titles?
Well, Free Planets, I don't think they're considered... You think you're putting Star Wars into this, and it's not.
Maybe, yeah.
I think they
I might have been like putting too much of the high level into the low level there. Maybe they are also still this aristocratic nightmare, but they are each independent and allied against the Empire.
Well, I think what was shown to us in the first episode when they described them is like each one of them controls like a third of the galaxy. So it's not like there's no higher level, lower levels. They're literally all massive organizations.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not like one's fighting the Galactic Empire because the Galactic Empire controls everything. I think it's shown that they control just as much. But however, unlike last time,
what do they believe in?
Unlike last time at the end of the credits, where we had the Free Planets insignia that said what they believed in, I'm pretty sure this then must be the crest of the Galactic Empire, which doesn't show you anything because that's not what a crest is.
The crest believes in the family continuing to live, right?
Well, I mean, you got what, the double eagle?
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just, I guess, a crown for the Imperial or the Kaiser's dynasty or whatever you call that. And the rest is just decorative, it looks like. I don't know. I know there is a way to read, like, not crests, but like, the shit heraldry you put on the front of a shield. I mean, heraldry is one way to say it, but like when you read the front of a shield, the different ways that you align the colors, the different means of the colors, and then the various animals and representations of...
We're not experts on that yet.
Well, I mean...
It's me giving you a project right there.
So what?
That's me giving you a project right there. Go look up and see what is the heraldic meaning of all of this, the Empire.
Unfortunately, Griff, I've got a lot of concept boards to make, so I don't know I got time for that.
Well, we'll put that one on the back burner then. But yeah, I'll be interested in like what the rest of the galaxy's like, what their politics are like, what people believe in, why are they fighting. But maybe our focus is just going to be on our 2 boys, and they're just going to fight each other.
I will say, as far as I got into the show, so I might be wrong, because again, it's been a long time, and I think I only got 3 episodes in. The very last episode that I watched, maybe it was 4, I don't remember, was they introduced the very concept of the third faction. So,
okay.
Like, I think they talked about... I'm not going to spoil what they talked about. It's just the third faction enters the scene, and I believe it was the 3rd episode, might have been the 4th episode. That's as far as I got, and clearly I do not remember a whole hell of a lot. I only remember the first 2 episodes where, hey, here's one character, hey, here's the other character. That's how I knew to introduce, hey, that's your guy talking.
We get like a 3rd genius, and they just get blown up the second they appear.
I don't know. In the art for the show and everything, it's just these 2 guys, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe the 3rd Empire is the evil empire. Or maybe they're going to do a thing where we're all evil and we're all good. I don't know.
Well, they're engaging in intergalactic warfare, so if by my standards, it's already pretty terrible. But it is exciting.
This isn't Vinland Saga. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, who the hell knows? Maybe in 5 episodes it turns into Vinland Saga.
I will be there to preach space peace, you know?
You understand that when your communications are being blocked, you're 44 AU away from your enemy, and they just
Mhm.
fucking open fire. It doesn't matter how pacifist you are. You're just dead. Space does not care. Well, the Xeon thing that we...
Tungsten rod coming from orbit does not care how pacifist you are.
I
Right?
was going to say the Xeon thing that we read in the last Gundam episode of Origin. The whole who's to blame when somebody dies because they wandered off into fucking space. Nobody. It's a weird paraphrase, and I'm sure I'm entirely wrong, but you know what I'm getting at.
Right.
The authority of the local government to protect kids against lakes vis-a-vis the dangers of space.
So I guess next time we're about to see, well, what the rest of the world is like. But for right now, this is where we're going to go ahead and wrap up for today. This has been Stone-Faced Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin. That's Theta. We'll catch you next time. See you around.